Ready, set, go. All right. Hopefully you're still sticking around with us, and we're ready to get to this next step. This next step's kind of a big one, but once you get a grasp of it, it gives you lots of power and lots of ways to do different things. The idea that we're going to talk about right now is something called a function. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this command called def, and that is to define a function. And we're going to make this initial function and give it a name called start. And it could be anything you want. It could be any name you want. Here, I'm just going to make it be, the start screen or the start of the game. Start game. Here, we'll call it start game. I'm going to camel case it, meaning each word I put in, I'm going to put in a new. You can't have any spaces in a name of a function. So here I'm going to say start game, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take all of that stuff we just put in the while loop and I'm going to tab it in. So now all of that is now part of this function. So it seems like I didn't do a whole lot. I essentially took all of that code that we've already written and put it into this command called this function. And now it's start game. And the cool thing about functions is that now I can call that function. Once it's happened, now it's a command that Python understands and knows. So it's kind of like godlike that you're like you've created something and now you can say start game. So let's come down to the bottom here, and you have to call it after you've already declared it. So we declared it here, starting from line 4 all the way down to line 23. And you'll notice now this one does have that cool line at the bottom. It does have that line that kind of goes down right here. So now if we were to run this and have it start to play, you'll notice that, oops, looks like I've got some bad text in there again from clicking in the wrong window. If I go ahead and run it now, you'll see it's just printing out this top line and it's not doing the rest of this. Because functions are kind of not run until you tell them to run. So here I need to come down, and to run a function, it is essentially just calling its name. Hey function, hey start game, and I'm going to use the open close parentheses. So up here at the top, I'm defining it with the def command to create it, and then having the colon to put all of this inside of it. Here, I'm just stating it by saying what the name is, and then the open and close parentheses, which is something we'll use much, much later, and probably not even in this course at all. So if I do that and go up to the top and then click run, now we're back to exactly the same thing, except it's all compartmentalized in this function, and I can call it as many times as I like. So that's how we can create that first function, do that much, and then come back, and we are going to then make it so that we make a function for each of the locations in your flowchart. And this is going to make it so much easier when we get to a point where we're moving through the world or through the rooms of your space.